Welcome to the Garrett Morgan School of Engineering Faculty and Staff Handbook review for the 24-25 school year. The purpose of us reviewing this handbook is so that everyone is on the same page of the expectation for our faculty and staff at Garrett Morgan. On page 2, this is a welcome letter, and this is us telling our theme this year, which is simply, let's make it happen. Here are the school hours for all of our different areas where our faculty and staff may fall into. And our mission, of course, relationships, rigor, results. And our vision of Garrett Morgan High School students will be academically prepared and socially motivated to enter the ever-changing world as responsible and productive global citizens. So on page 5 is extremely important because this is talking about the absence of students and the absence of teachers. So one of the things that we want to remind all of our teachers that it's important that you do your attendance within the first 5 to 10 minutes of class, simply because that is law. For our absence of teachers, you must start to put your attendance in SmartFind and making sure that it shows up into Workday. You should always choose a substitute to make sure that we have the opportunity for someone to come and fill in while you're gone. Please do not use the option, no substitute needed. You should always check for a substitute. Also remembering that if you have an accident or injury, please follow the process that is listed here, as well as the district's handbook. If you are a part of any extracurricular activity, this is giving you the process of what you should do with funds, collection of funds, and when you should turn them in. You should be collecting funds you should be collecting funds, whatever due date that you have set for students. In addition to you collecting funds, the day that you collect funds, you must turn them in either to the secretary or Mr. Davis. There is no exception to this rule. We will then give you a receipt stating how much money you turned in, as well as we would need copies of receipts from students or receipts that you gave to students showing that they made a payment. Arrival and departure. It is contractually obligated for you to arrive by 8:15 on non-Falcon Session days. On Falcon Sessions days, which is Tuesday currently, you should be arriving at 7:30. In addition, if you have to leave early, you should be getting approval from Mr. Davis, and if he's not available, one of his admin teams. Building maintenance, please fill out the concern form if you have any issues in your classroom, such as heat, such as floors not being clean, such as something being broken in the classroom. This is a relatively brand new school, and we want to keep it that way. Our opening and closing hours, if you need to stay past 4, please let Mr. Davis know, and he will more than likely approve for you to stay. Classroom management. So this is essential to the success of Garrett Morgan High School. This is giving you tips on how and what you should be doing during classroom management. Classroom management is essential. Proper planning prevents poor performance. So we are expecting our teachers to be well organized and properly planned so that we can prevent poor performance. On this page, this is giving teachers and staff tips on how to do classroom management. Each classroom has a phone, knowing that we are now in a cell phone-less school system. You need to be using your classroom phones. There will be times where you have to use your cell phone where messages come from myself or come from my admin team, but please model the behavior that we want for our students or that we want from our students. You should be using the classroom phone and not being on your cell phone. That is best practice. Communicating with parents. You should be communicating with parents for the good, the bad, and the ugly. A good relationship with the family is not just calling a family when something is wrong with the student, but more importantly, when they've done something extraordinary or just had a good day. So please make sure you're communicating with parents. There are several ways that you can communicate with parents, both by phone, text, email, and through our new My Power Hub. The conference room. You must reserve the conference room in order to use it. We have very little space and many meetings. So to show up on the day of your IEP because you failed to do the proper reservation will result in you having to reschedule or find a new space. Make sure that you are reserving the conference room through our secretary. In addition, the copy machine, we have two copy machines, one in the front office and one in the teacher's workroom. The one in the front office is designated for individuals who work in the front office area. All teachers should be using the teacher designated one in the teacher workroom. Only if the teacher workroom is broken should you be using the one in the office. Please note, we will be correcting and reminding teachers who are using the copy machine in the front office. It is not out of disrespect, but it's to set the standard of where we should be using our copy machines and also not overworking one machine over the other. Please note, corporal punishment is not allowed. If you have a daily announcement that needs to be read, you should be giving that information to Ms. Dressler. In addition, we are not allowing sports or clubs and organizations to post flyers on our walls. You must make a digital flyer and send that to Ms. Dressler. She will then upload that to our digital format. It is the expectation that you all are reading your emails every day. You have 24 hours to respond to an email. You should be reading your email. That is the number one way of communication in our district. In addition, your email signature line should look like what's on this page. Please make sure that you change your email signature if it doesn't look like this. Emergency leave, you can leave as long as you're letting your administrator know. We have to have an account of everybody who's in the building. Emergencies come up, so just communicate and we can work through that. Employee protection against harassment. Please, please, please read this area very closely. This is also in our handbook, excuse me, the district's handbook, as well as the district's website. It shows you the process of what you need to do if you feel that you are having any type of harassment, intimidation, threat, or defamation. Please note that there is a room designated for faculty to eat. Do not, we repeat, do not allow students in that area. And we encourage you to eat in this room to keep the bugs down. Our faculty meetings will happen during our Falcon sessions. That is our 50 minutes area. Once again, our faculty meetings will happen during our Falcon sessions. That is during our 50 minutes era. Please also note that FERPA is real. FERPA is real. You need to consider anything that you write, say, or do for the protection of students' privacy. FERPA is real, and you don't want to go down that rabbit hole if you go against FERPA. Field experiences. So we will be having a lot of field trips, as you all know, throughout the years. We will have a very strict process of you putting in field trips by a timely manner, getting it approved in a timely manner, and making sure that there's some type of budget. If Mr. Davis doesn't approve it because of a budget, it is your responsibility to find other funding for that field trip. In addition, students must be in good standing in order to go. Good standing could be grades, could be behavior. There are several criterias depending on the field trip that will be implemented to ensure that one, every student gets an opportunity to go, but two, that if a student is way behind, that academics comes first. The front office, just as your classroom, the front office is a place of work. We have secretaries that man that area. If it's anything that you need, please let them know. Do not take anything from the front office, just as we wouldn't take anything from your classroom. Grading system. So it is best practice for grades to be updated weekly. That is the expectation that we have for our team, is grades updated weekly. We will be using the My Hub system, the My Power Hub system, where parents will have access to grades. So please do not be in a situation where parents are questioning where their child's grades are, because we haven't updated them frequently. So the expectation is to upgrade or to upload grades in a consistent time period. In addition, the grading scale is your traditional grading scale, the same grading scale that Mr. Davis went over with you all during your operations review. Instructional time. So the lesson plans that you see at the bottom, these are items that should be included in your lesson plans and within your daily operations of your class. You have your standard objective work time assessment, resource, and then differentiation. We want to make sure that every student has a consistent way of how the classrooms are running. So whether you're going to an English class, a math class, or a social studies class, there's some continuity throughout. Please make sure that your lesson plans are up to date, because administration, per the CBA, can go and check them. Please make sure during our instructional time, you are organized and prepared to cover the full 90 minutes. 90 minutes is a long time without a plan. Please make sure that you're checking your mailboxes daily. We do put a lot of information in that area, so please make sure that you're checking them daily. If you need supplies, please make sure you contact the front office and we will approve or not approve your supplier request. In addition, detention of students. It is your obligation to contact parents about the detention given. Please make sure you're following the school-wide PBIS consequence list. If indeed you go straight to a detention, we will be pushing that back. It is essential that everyone is following the PBIS consequence that is for everyone. It is a universal consequence matrix for everyone. Please make sure you are following that matrix. Once again, textbooks for a lot of our subjects, we are having digital and hard copy textbooks. Please make sure our kids do not abuse the textbooks. Visitors should stop by the front office. If you see someone who you do not recognize, please stop them, ask them if they have a pass, and if they don't, or a badge, move them back to the front office. If you need some assistance, please do not hesitate to use the classroom phone to call the front office. Every teacher has classroom phone numbers in their folder. And the weekly update will be emailed each week from Sunday, each week either on Sunday or Monday. It is your expectation to read and review the materials within the update. This ends our handbook review.